Hey folks, it's Bear Gardner, and we are back for another episode of the Delian Tomb, as we continue to explore the starter adventure for MCDMs RPG Draw Steel, links down below, along with the Codex in beta, link is down below, but as far as I am aware, we are currently limited on available slots to beta the Codex, but you can always ask the design team whether there are any keys available. As we've got a really big amount of playtesters going on this, which is very cool. As ever, many thanks to, MCDM for a great RPG and letting people do weird stuff with it. The team at DM Hub for letting me play around with the Codex beta live and stream about it and talk about it and record it. And to my players, Neil, Alex, and Ed, for being mad enough to let themselves be recorded doing things in adventures. When last we saw our heroes, they had set out to undertake an attempt to both recover an amulet for the local charcoal burner and, incidentally, deal with a massive fire-spewing insect which was attacking a local farm. It transpired the insect actually spat acid, but otherwise fairly accurate, and after a montage test through complex tunnels, which they handled with consummate skill, they engaged in a brutal but eventually successful battle with a gigantic Arix, which is a sort of massive insect. Kind of think acid-spewing praying mantis the size of a horse, maybe a bit bigger. I
would say bigger.
But they were indeed victorious, and Torbin managed to land the final blow and gained the title Monster Slayer. And they recovered the amulet which they have gathered. So when we rejoin our party, they are in the midst, or rather I should say you are in the midst of the cave. You have gathered the amulet and your various tokens. Torbin is busy carving and preparing to get made. I mean, maybe the blacksmith can make your Arix claw dagger sheaths or something similar that you were going for your symbol of beast slayerness. Oh no, it was mandibles, wasn't it? It was Arix mandibles.
Yes, it was.
Having harvested the necessary part and gathered the amulet, so currently, I think our camera focuses first and foremost passes over the slain Arix corpse with Torbin in classic Polder style emerging from some part of the Arix's head with a pair of mandibles victoriously collected, while Anurin looks up, wondering about the amulet, while Sholto meanders over from the pile of nesting material in the corner, carrying the amulet. The amulet itself is a heavy brass amulet. It is shaped to look stylistically like a shining sun. Just having a look at your skills, Sholto. Nothing I need to be aware of. Yep.
Pretty.
It is.
Shall we go outside out of this acid stinking hellhole?
Do you show it to us? The amulet? Sholto?
Of course, sorry.
Do you show the amulet to us?
Yes, I don't see any reason not to.
So I suppose just to check that there's nothing that the criminal underworld or magic might...
Well, criminal underworld tells you it's probably quite valuable. Magic, on the other hand, you can Interesting, actually. Sholto is human, aren't you?
Elf. No, elf.
you're
None
an
of
elf.
us are human.
No humans.
We don't get the handy thing of knowing if it
No.
isn't.
So, Torbin. Yeah, there is a sense of magic about this amulet. It is not an ordinary amulet.
Okay. So when we
Actually,
go back...
I say Criminal Underworld wouldn't tell you anything. Criminal Underworld does make you wonder how a village charcoal burner has a valuable brass magical amulet.
that he said was from his family.
Yes, he said it was a family heirloom.
Okay. I will tell the other guys. Is it in any particular style? In terms of holder or
I don't know. Does anyone have a relevant skill for identifying such things? I'm thinking history, society, that sort of.
I've got society.
You could make me. I would history, society. I would take. You make a society check. I would suggest it would be reason society.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what's interesting is this particular style of carving you've definitely seen before. This is the same style of you're familiar as players with the concept of the different styles that we've seen in the real world, from Rococo to Renaissance to Art Deco. Periods tend to have associated styles. The carving and making of this brass amulet would fit the same time period as the tomb that you went into. It's old, like pre the current age, I suppose. Old. This is Kalian Empire old. So, I mean, as a family heirloom, it's an old family.
Oh, that or he found it.
I mean, I'm not sure we should take it off him, though.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Taking it back to him.
I suppose we could ask him about it, but yeah.
Yeah. So, are we going to head back to the woodcutter first?
Well,
To the charcoal maker. Sorry.
Well, we could stop in at Ellery and tell her that her farm's okay.
Yeah, the farm is on the way. So you went out basically north, skirting the woods, past the charcoal burner into the northern part of the town. So you will pass the farmhouse. I am so used to having a camera on while I'm running games that I'm gesticulating at the camera. None of you can see me. But yeah, so you would pass the farm on your way back to the charcoal burner's house. So yeah, you emerge from the tunnel into the light. I mean, you didn't do a massive amount. Although that's it. I suppose it is relatively late because this was kind of at the end of a day where you'd already kind of had a full day of kind of talking to people, although you hadn't done any actual downtime activities. So yeah, it's probably about late afternoon. You emerge out into the light and tromp towards the farm, and you can see that the field that you emerge past, because obviously the hole that you first went into rather, is at the farm, has been cleared, and the pyre of animal corpses is burning away, and sat on a bale of hay with just a tired but completed look of someone watching over a burning pyre. You can see the farmer, Ellery. She's just sat there waiting, and she sees you come back.
Hello.
Oh, you're alive.
Yeah, and it's not. So you can fill in that hole, and
It was a bit close for some of us, but yes, we all got through totally unscathed.
Well, that's quite a relief.
luckily for me, I hear that women dig scars.
Well, I suppose my husband, bless his soul, did have his that scar on his arm. Although I don't know really.
I can't speak for Torben, but at least when Aneurin says that, Sholto will just sort of turn his face very slightly, just with the raised eyebrow of, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
And Torben will just roll his eyes.
Oh, I love how the troubadour invokes such responses in the party. But she's like, I mean, oh, well, I suppose there's not much I can offer, but I suppose if you ever want orc.
We didn't do this for the reward. We did it to help people.
Yes.
Well, you've
my thought precisely.
Well, you've saved my farm, so you've certainly helped people.
It was a dangerous creature, and frankly, when we got there, it looked like there was some chance it may have been preparing to lay eggs. So, frankly, it's probably a good thing that we got to it when we did.
She gives a visible shudder when you suggest the thought that it was going to breed. Oh, more than one of them. That's a terrifying thought.
It would have been quite dangerous, yes.
Although I could have had a whole set of scabbards.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a lot of knives, and it only has 2 mandibles, so...
Yeah.
Is there anything that do you need food or bandages or anything? I don't have much, but...
No.
It's no problem. We're being given food and board in the village proper. I just wanted to let you know. That's all.
Well, you can certainly let the town know that I'll be able to start building back up the farm. I'm most grateful. Yes.
Would another pair of hands be helpful with that at all? We're going to be hanging around for a while, and I've got plenty of time on my hands.
Well, I mean, if you're ever lacking for anything to do, you can certainly find work here. Meanwhile, I'll get my boys. They're round the other side of the farm with what's left of the livestock. They're good lads, but
good.
As he's saying that, as Sholto's saying that, Torben is also rolling his eyes.
Just a slightly different flavour of eye roll. She nods. Well, you're always welcome here. And again, my thanks, and I hope you have a safe return to town.
Thank you. Best wishes if we don't come down this way again.
Oh, and I suppose you'd best let the Reeve know that we won't need her help, since you've dealt with the problem.
We'll do that eventually. There's some other problems we're going to do before we rock up and go fixed it.
Right, yeah, very
because we know how to make an entrance.
Yeah, from what we were told earlier, there seem to be a few problems around here which could probably be eased with the tactical application of a little bit of force.
Well, I mean, I don't know about all the problems, but I know there's definitely been food being stolen in town, which is troubling, but it's only because I hear the townfolk complaining about it, and, well, good luck, I suppose, yes. and the blessings of St. Griffin go with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Yeah, she goes back to watching the fire burn and humming a tune to herself.
I cannot believe we left without pork sausages.
You could have asked for some pork sausages, Torben.
I mean, if you wanted some, we could have asked for that.
She said you can have food, and you said, oh no, but what else can we do?
Well,
and then you were batting your eyelids at her.
I bat my eyelids pretty much everyone.
I mean, fair point.
Give me a minute. Torben, Sholto will turn around and run back to the farm.
She sort of looks at is everything all right?
I apologise. Apparently, I was speaking somewhat out of turn. Our polder is asking if you might have a few sausages that we may be able to take with us.
Oh, Certainly, yeah. Just you knock by the door on the way out at the farm, and tell young Orin that Ma said you were to have a bag of sausages and some of the bits that we have. There's a package waiting for the butcher's anyway, and he can get his later. So you just let him know, and he'll pass it on to you.
Thank you very much. And then I'll jog back. And basically be like, right, if we knock as we're leaving the farm on a little thing, we can get you your sausages.
Excellent.
So, I mean, yeah, if you stop by the farm...
Just so you know, Anurin is rolling his eyes because we're getting fed. I don't understand why Torvin is so... top for sausage.
Everyone's going to end up with eye strain. So, yeah, you knock on the door at the farm and speak to a young man, and he comes and he gives you basically it's a box. It's got some sausages, some bacon. It looks like it was a package that was intended for the local butchers, and then just sort of hands it to you.
On the way back to town, Torbjorn will spend time explaining to Anurin how transportation works, particularly polders and ships and things, and that actually, the sausages that you get at the inn aren't necessarily that fresh, and that getting them straight from the farm is going to give you a much better quality of sausage.
So what you're saying is that Torben likes to keep careful track of the food miles of his sausage.
Yes, absolutely.
Question related to a thing actually that I probably would do in character, but the question comes first. What is wealth used for in this game? Because I now have wealth 2. Like, what does that mean? I know this game doesn't. This game doesn't track currency like D&D and many others do.
No, so wealth is simply a representation of basically what is considered to be a kind of an incidental expense to you. It gives me a loose idea of how well to do you as adventurers are. So it's not quite the same, but it's probably closer to, how to put it? I think it's probably closer, as I click on the link. 13 rewards. There it is. So generally speaking, hero wealth is kind of a measure of how well to do you are collectively. So I just do.
Yeah, I'm looking. Wealth, it's described in the rulebook on page 3519.
Yeah, it is indeed.
It has a little table of score 2, horse and cart, dinner at a fine tavern, stay at a fine inn is considered affordable.
Popped it in chat for you, but yeah. So wealth 2, you're past like mundane clothing and stuff, and you could afford to stay at a good quality inn without having to worry about it.
I'm amused at the top level being a castle or a shipyard is considered affordable.
Well, so it goes to the tone and methodology, which I suppose is kind of relevant as people are learning about Draw Steel. Draw Steel assumes some relatively old school methodology. There is the assumption in Draw Steel that at some point in your career you might want to found your own stronghold in the way that was classically the case in D&D back in the day at round about level 10. A knight would build a castle, or a mage would build a tower, and would be able to do things like gather followers and servants and other things. And Draw Steel, because that's the way that Matt's always run his tabletop games, has that same kind of logic in it. At some point we might see some rules for it. We haven't so far. Although if you are looking for a good resource for it, I highly recommend the Kingdoms and Warfare, Kingdoms and Warfare and Strongholds and Followers, both from MCDM, which are 5th edition supplements, but do a really good job of bringing the kind of idea to it. But yeah, the wealth is about how well to do you are, but it's also worth noting that, you guys are notable even at level 1. So absolutely, yeah, you have enough coin that honestly, incidental expense is not really an issue for you. Although, again, fresh sausage got its own value.
Right. Well, with thank you for that. I was going to say when you started talking about it, I remember Coville talking about that, like the idea that heroes were earning wealth with the particular motive in mind to use that for things like that.
Yeah, it's about giving you the freedom, kind of. It's never been established, but I think anywhere around sort of level 3 or 4, I guess, in Draw Steel, because it runs for about 10 levels. There's this feeling of like you're going to establish yourself somewhere, probably in most adventures, and
so where on that scale does a sausage factory come in?
Well, I suppose that depends on what kind of stronghold you wanted to. You could get a butcher as a follower.
It has like a tavern is at 4, so I would assume like 4, maybe 5, or 3, depending upon like the size of like the facility you're talking about. Like if it's just a small butchers.
The thing is as you get too big, it gets industrialized, and then you lose the quality, and then you're back to square one.
I mean, it's true.
I'm looking at Torben in an entirely new light.
However, the important reason why I was asking about hero wealth is that basically once we've been given the sausages and we are preparing to leave, after the other two have turned their back, I will just take out a few gold coins that would be appropriate for a few coins, maybe not gold, silver maybe, that would be appropriate for the sausages and pay for them. Quietly.
Yeah, that's very legitimate. I think that's fair. I think I will. I think collectively the party have earned themselves a hero token just for playing your characters well. So you can have a hero, a collective hero token.
Thank you.
I think I'm starting to establish Sholto's character here, and it is apparently annoyingly goody two shoes.
It's fascinating to me the various. Elements of this. By the way, if anyone is listening to this and wondering how the first sort of 15-20 minutes of an RPG session can be about the freshness of sausage, I'm assuming then that you are new to the art of RPGs, because believe me, you will learn that this is normal.
The thing I find often annoying about running RPGs sometimes, when it's like, sometimes you'll get through loads of stuff in a day because the players don't waste time, and sometimes they'll spend half the session like arguing over the foundations of some ruins they found once.
See, I very much fall into the category where some of my favourite RPG sessions historically, I have done nothing. Like I was running many moons ago, I was running a World of Darkness, a new World of Darkness game, and I had a pack of werewolves who they could spend an entire session in which I barely used my voice and just took notes, because they'd always find something to do. That's players for you.
I had a very similar experience. I was running the Star Trek Adventures game, and I gave my players a quandary where they would have to break the Prime Directive in order to save a bunch of people. And then I didn't do anything for 3 hours while they talked about it.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it's great. Sometimes it's really good. I've spent many a session just leaning back, taking notes and planning for the future, in the sure and certain knowledge that I don't have to do any game prep next week, because they'll just be doing what I had planned for this week. Again, secret art of DMing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is shut up and let your players come up with better ideas.
Oh, 9 times out of 10, like, I'll only interrupt the players if what they're saying is going to be wildly wrong. If they're, like, convincing themselves that they've got the solution, I'm like, no, that's a really bad idea due to something you have forgotten or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 times out of 10, if the players are talking to each other about something in character, just let them roll as long as possible.
Yeah, just let them go. Trust me, they'll come up with ideas that are better than yours, and never be afraid to steal them.
Oh, absolutely.
You gather your acquired / purchased butchered goods and head back to town.
Let's go to thingy.
While we're doing that, I'm just briefly going to get some water. 1 moment.
Sure. So you head back to the. So let's get you on the appropriate map. Well, I say let's get you on the.
Is Torben eating the sausage raw?
Don't be a heathen.
I mean, there are sausages you eat without cooking them.
Yeah, but pork sausages, not so much. No, but I am going
What kind of barbarian are you? Raw pork sausage.
I thought troubadours were people of culture.
Yes, I know exactly which fork to use at a society dinner.
Don't worry. When I get to the charcoal burners, I'm gonna have myself some smoked sausage.
Sausage. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
the
there is
troubadour
to be.
absolutely. It's absolutely cultured. Your difficulty is there's multiple kinds of culture.
Yes.
Well, to be fair, it's probably what it was destined for. You have seen the chimney and smoke of a smokehouse in the centre of town. So,
Like
yeah.
eating meat raw and with your hands is absolutely a form of culture. It's just something generally like cannibalism or goblins or something like that.
Yeah, it depends on the culture, really.
I mean, I was served an excellent ceviche at a lord's house several weeks ago. That was raw.
Huh?
Yeah, but it wasn't a pork sausage.
I just eat it.
You were served a what? Sorry.
A ceviche.
What is a ceviche? Sholto will, I think, ask what is a ceviche, because I must admit Alex doesn't know either. But yes, what is a ceviche?
It's a kind of vinegared fish.
It's cured
It's raw.
fish.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, it actually is not raw, said the freaky. Those who are wondering why on earth would the director introduce this, I did train as a chef when I was younger. Ceviche is technically not raw, it's cured, because the vinegar mixture technically, from a biomechanical point of view, cooks the fish without cooking the fish. But ceviche is really, really good if it's done well, particularly with delicate white fish or something a little bit more meaty. But anyway, I digress into a whole new world.
Anurin knows nothing about cooking. He just knows he ate some raw fish, right?
Yeah.
So,
But it was posh.
yeah, posh raw fish. Very nice.
Yes.
He wrote a song about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you stride past the woods discussing the merits of cured / raw fish, the charcoal burner is the smoke seems to have mostly died down, and there's no sign beyond a little plume of smoke from the cottage.
We'll go knock on the door.
One moment. Oh, you hear some moving around outside and what sounds like furniture being pushed. You're not quite sure. And the door opens and you see Orson kind of looks up and is like, "Oh, well, aren't you back rapidly? You're not dead."
It sounds like
yes,
you're pushing furniture around.
Oh no, I just ran into one of the tables on the way here. You know, it's terribly difficult to remember where one left things. I swear sometimes they just move.
I know that issue.
Anyway, yes. Come in. Get out of the...
I roll my eyes at the other two.
Why are you rolling them this time?
Oh, Torvin wants to know if he can borrow your thing to smoke some sausage.
Oh, yes. I suppose I do it all the time. There's he gestures, and on the right-hand side, there's a little alcove that you can use. Just throw them in.
Is that better, Torvin?
Yeah, much better. I set myself up, and while I'm doing that, is this in the room?
No, he has cut out of the side of his charcoal burning apparatus. He's actually got what, when you look at it, it looks like, for all intents and purposes, like it's a small smoker.
Excellent. I will avail myself of this small smoker, and then when we go inside, I am going to just look around to see if I can see if any furniture, it doesn't seem to tie in with what he was saying, and I'm a little bit suspicious.
Would you
I don't have read person.
No, but that's all right. Yeah, you can make me just make an intuition test. You don't need a skill for it. You're just observing. Absolutely not a problem at all. There's a couple of pieces of furniture here that maybe, there's one small table that would probably be about right, although presumably you must have been coming from a different part of it. But you can't see any specific sign that there's no specific sign of any deceit, as it were. There's plenty of furniture that he could have bumped into.
So I'm just as someone with a little bit of criminal history. I am just wondering. So I suppose I'm suspicious. I'm looking for potentially hiding places. Maybe that he might have used the table to access or something like that. So I'm just generally casting my eye around.
Yeah, I mean,
using my criminal knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly, given a little bit of time while you're conversing, you might be able to get an idea of whether there was something meanwhile, he, as before, just brings you into the same table that you've sat at before and is like, well, you don't look like you've been, well, I mean, he points at Anurin. You look like you've been a little bit eaten.
It's thoroughly, but thankfully not digested.
So, you found it then?
Yes, we found it. We've dealt with it. We've told. Alex has forgotten the farmer lady's name.
Ellery.
So she should be safe again. And we also found, and we'll bring out the amulet, the locket type that we were asked to recover.
I didn't know that. Honestly, even if you'd found it, I didn't really suspect there was much chance that I'd be getting that back at all. Yes, it's,
What, did you think we would keep it?
I didn't know what it was. An insect was going to do, giant or otherwise, was going to do with an amulet. I mean, I thought it probably swallowed it.
Was it in such a state that it looked like it had passed through an insect before we got to it, or not?
No, it looked like it had just been chucked with all the other piles of meat.
Fair enough then. We're not sure what it may have wanted to do with it either, but either way, the Arax is dead, and we've got your property back.
It's a very fine amulet.
Yes! He reaches out and picks the amulet back up and pops it by the side of the table on a side table next to what he's the kind of person that has a comfortable armchair pulled up next to his kitchen table because he probably spends a lot of time there. And he pops it to one side and kind of looks at you and says, yes, well, we all have those things that are valuable in our past, don't we? I'm afraid I can't really, I mean, I haven't much to offer in the way of payment. I suppose I could...
Could you tell us a story of the amulet in your family? That would suffice. Anurin would, he collects stories and songs, and I'm sure he would love to hear it.
I was going to ask, did you come across this? Did you inherit it from a family member?
So he kind of reaches down to one side, grabs the cup of tea that he's got, pulls it up, and just takes a drink from the mug, and he's like, really, amulets? Well, don't you just ring true every single time? And this... Honestly, I'd rather expected you were going to attempt to steal it or extort it from me.
No, absolutely not.
There's a very particular moment of realization that there's a change in not just manner but stature as he leans back in the chair with this cup in his hand. There's a flat, almost cultured tone to his voice, and it's almost like he's a few inches taller. Remarkable. I mean, I was hopeful, but hope doesn't always survive in these times. Heroes! I didn't think there were many left. No, I'm afraid, my friend, I can't regale you with a tale of my family and this amulet. This thing is far from... Well, I suppose it's in my keeping, but I wouldn't call it mine.
Oh?
Pray tell. That sounds like just as interesting a story.
Hmm.
Well... What do you know of the coursers? At least one of you, you're trained in society, aren't you?
I am.
The coursers are a very well-known legend, myth, organisation. It's hard to tell because the coursers by definition are accepted by everyone to exist, but no one knows who they are. They are travelling adventurers whose sworn duty is the defence of the land and its people. You've heard rumours of them, but you've never really had any direct reference.
Surely they're a myth.
Well, there's an interesting one. They're a myth. I probably shouldn't be here. Well, I suppose I am, or rather more specifically I was, a courser. At least for a while. Nowadays I am quite retired, though from time to time those walking the path will come by and I provide a little refuge. The eccentric charcoal burner. Less inclined to visitors, meaning that people can stay here without notice. It's amazing what you can do out at a charcoal burner's hut without anyone noticing.
Oh, I can imagine.
That amulet. Now that I was worried to lose. The amulet itself is old. Really quite old. It's related to an order of knights, known as the Delian Order.
Oh, to do with the tomb.
I suspect so, or at the very least that the knight entombed there, as far as local legend, or at least what I've been able to get out of Abbot Lorick, suggests that the knight entombed there was a Delian. Or at least a member of the order. The amulet...
It was Delius himself. It's written on the tomb.
Oh, you mean the name? No. Delius would have been upon any of the tombs. I've seen a few in my time.
Ah.
The tombs were laid in honour of the founder. And also because the Order were particular about not wanting to know what was where. I mean, if you think we're mysterious, you should try researching Kalian knightly orders. Still, that's I suppose... Well, I'd say it's ancient history, but apparently not, considering that someone else appears to be interested in the tomb now. I'm not a fan of goblins being in the tomb, nor of this rumour I hear from town of goblins attempting to open the wards.
Yep.
It did seem that way when we were down there.
And apparently Violet was some sort of sacrifice? Key?
I mean, you'd need someone more knowledgeable than me to know exactly how any of this works, but I had rather hoped you'd recover the amulet, because now perhaps is the time for me to have a chat with the abbot. Of course, once I'm done with all of this, it'll be time to move on. Can't have everyone knowing who you are, I suppose. Though I suppose the abbot's a reliable enough chap.
I mean, you could have a chat with the abbot on your behalf, if you like. Then you wouldn't have to blow your cover.
Every single time, like a bell. Curious. Interesting people, all three of you. Well, to put this, I won't turn down help when it arrives. Certainly not when it's freely offered and in the interests of the defence of the people. Given that the last mercenaries to arrive in town were just that, you're a breath of fresh air.
No,
Mind you, they might know something too. I know they, well, from what I hear, their last adventure was to do with a Delian Tomb as well, so they might well be here looking for information. Seem like a decent enough group. I mean, their reputation's good enough, but they're expensive, and as a result, I'm not entirely sure what on earth they'd be doing here. I mean, it's not as if anyone has the money or time to pay them. They're hardly going to get Rosalind throwing coin at them. She hasn't got it to offer. Rosamund is the constable, the
Reeve.
The Reeve, he nods. Yes, indeed. She's a good enough woman, but strapped for both time and money. Still, perhaps you could be of use to her as well. But I digress, and I should not keep you from your points. I'll say this much. One of you ever considers the path, speak to me. Not many willing to give up their time and risk their lives for nothing more than the right choice.
Where do I sign?
You're just saying that to get in with more women.
It's a secret. I can't tell them.
A tight-lipped troubadour. Now that's a nice idea.
You'd be surprised the number of our membership who do indeed walk the path of the minstrel. It's amazing who they'll let in and back out again.
Yeah, we can go anywhere. Well, almost anywhere.
I mean, technically, I only have to accept you, but I cannot accept you alone. Horses always run in pairs, or at least a pair. Never alone the path is walked. Ever since Jessamond died, I was retired.
What exactly is a courser?
Coursers are... We are sworn to defend the places of the world, the wild, forests, rivers, plains, oceans, deserts, all the natural places, generally from demons, cultists, or those who would corrupt it. In the purpose of this, of course, we also stand in defence of the people who work the land. We, for example, would not wish to allow an Arix to rend farms, or a goblin tribe to raid a place. Mostly we travel from place to place, seeking out evil and doing what we can on the way. Mostly we operate in pairs, though sometimes larger groups, but never less than 2. Generally, they are the people connected to the wilds, the nature, or the land, but I've known many a person walk the path.
Possibly something to discuss further later.
Well, the offer is made, and is not to be refused unless your reputation does you harm. But pray silence for my own involvement. We do try and remain quiet.
Of course. So, if we are to take the amulet or discuss things with the abbot for you, what information should we share with him?
Oh, just give it. He tosses the amulet across. You may as well just hand it to him. Going to be better in your hands than mine anyway.
Okay.
Easier for him to find something, and I'm hardly going to make use of it.
May I trouble you for an opinion? And I will share with him the list of things that I'm sure he already knows, but
I thought he gave most of them to us.
That was the abbot.
No, that was the abbot. Right. So this is the things that are going on around here. As a former courser, what would you do next? We're thinking of maybe looking into the bandits in the woodland, and there are 2 associated tasks that might be in the same sort of area, but I was interested in your opinion.
I was going to say, out of character, like, this feels like we may have accidentally just immediately hit the quest to continue the main narrative, and I wanted to do more side quests.
We can do side quests. This is good.
So he leans back and smiles. Well, I imagine you're going to have some time on your hands until the abbot can find out what that thing does. I mean, I'm far from ignorant of its magical nature, but I've never been able to work out quite what it's for or why you'd need it. The abbot, probably better equipped with his lore to work out whether there is a connection to the tomb. So you might as well...
If it opens the thing. The ward.
Certainly possible.
A key to the ward or something.
Certainly possible.
Right, well, in that case,
But,
we can take this to the abbot and then busy ourselves with some of the other tasks, I guess.
well, certainly, I mean, I suppose you could simply wander to the tomb and hope, but I'd be more inclined to have knowledge first, but that's just me.
So would I.
But, I mean, if you're looking through the town, I imagine you could... Well, if you're asking the opinion of a retired old man with an instinct for these things, I'd be inclined to have a word with Mikhail.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it is. There's something about his story and pansies that troubles me. Bandits are bandits, and certainly of importance. I'm sure the Reeve would be delighted if you were to figure out what was going on there, but Mikhail's story, that might be one worth hearing for yourselves.
Well, the carpenter is conveniently near the Church of St. Griffin and the Furrier, so... And it's on the way back to the inn for the evening.
Well, that it is. If ever you need a place to stay out of the way, or just feel the inclination to visit a poor old Orson, well, you know where I am. You can knock on the door and we'll find you some tea. Meanwhile, you should get a move on, little man.
Yes.
Your sausages will be oversmoked if you're not careful. Nothing like an oversmoked sausage. Terrible for it.
I hold you in the highest esteem, both as a courser and a sausage connoisseur.
Oh, yes, we'll get going, and thank you very much for your time.
He
I
ushers
imagine
you out.
Some of us will speak to you later.
He ushers you out the door in full Orson mode.
I smile at him and salute him as we leave. And wait until we're around the corner and then do a little jump up and down. Because courses are so cool. I want to be one so bad.
It's an enthusiastic troubadour.
Who doesn't want to be like a secret defender of the world? Come on.
I mean, you can just be a defender of the world without being a member of an organization.
I mean, that's what I'm doing now.
Precisely. Does the secret bit matter that much?
But it adds a layer of mystique. Like, do you know how many songs there are about corsairs? Corsairs even. There are so many.
I mean, yes. To be fair, that is an accurate statement. They're on.
Some of them are probably even true.
Yeah, but you never know which ones, unless, of course, you're a corsair. And you could find out.
Anyways, let's go speak to the abbot.
Oh, to whomever at MCDM decided to dangle Matt's version of the Harpers into this adventure. Good choice. Somehow I knew Neil would be enthused. You make your way back through town. Where are you headed?
The Church of St. Griffin to talk to Abbot Lorick.
Yep. So, Abbot Lorick will appear
Hello, Abbott.
At the door. Oh, yeah. Well, yes, good to see you. Please enter if you wish, although be kind enough to leave your weapons in the entryway. We don't permit arms in the church.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm. I shall drop off my rapier. So, whilst we were helping Orson with an Arix problem...
An Arix?
Good grief! It was Ellery's farm. It's dead now.
Oh.
We found this, and I hold out the amulet. As far as we can tell, it's very old. I was wondering if you could tell us anything about it.
Well, I mean, at first glance, I can tell you it's Kalian. He reaches out as if to take it from you.
I let him.
He turns it over and looks at it. Yes, it's Kalian.
Do your human senses detect anything?
Oh! He chuckles. The magic. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so unused to with the exception of Dunquart, everyone round here is human. Yes, it's clearly magical, but I'm wondering what kind of magic, and that would take some time. I mean, I don't suppose you'd consent to someone studying the thing.
No.
I mean,
Sure.
Yeah. We literally found it in the nest of an Arix, so...
Oh, how fascinating.
Would you like to hear the tale of how we defeated the Arix?
Later.
The abbot seems to offer a sort of moment of almost gentle relief. Your last performance having gone down quite so well.
I will say later, and while I'm saying that, I will make direct eye contact with the abbot with my eyebrows in the pleading position.
Yeah. I have a number of things to attend to, but I imagine this will make a few interesting evenings. Yes, I'll consult my...
A few evenings?
I...
Do you mean of study, not of song?
Well, of course, I am an abbot of St. Griffin. It is my business to busy myself with the needs of my flock, and, well, this... it certainly is old enough and interesting enough to be both intriguing but also troubling. In my experience, young Polder, rarely does this kind of magic bode well.
What kind of magic?
Anything ancient and enchanted that one doesn't understand, especially when it's likely valuable.
Do you have any inkling of what sort of... So, when we were in the tomb, there was a lot of necromantic magic.
Oh, this! No. This symbol, he gestures at it. The resplendent sun is a Delian symbol.
No, I was assuming the necromantic magic was to do with the goblins and the bugbear.
Nothing else.
The bugbear was a necromancer. You know, she did bring those goblins back to undead life and zombies.
She did.
Well, I suppose if you're going to sap the life from poor Violet in an attempt to complete some profane ritual, necromancy would be a likely cause of it.
Poor
but
Violet.
She's doing quite well, by the way. She's recovered surprisingly quickly. Strong girl, that. And I believe her mother was particularly vociferous in her praise of you. Shouldn't wonder if she'd be more than willing to work on anything for you. But yes, I suppose the sooner I'm able to get to this, the better. But I will. I mean, feel free to stop by if you wish to find out how things are going. But as soon as I know something, I'll let you know. You're still at the inn, yes?
Yes.
We'll be around. If worse comes to worse and we're hard to get hold of, just leave something written down with the innkeep.
Yes, certainly. My thanks. I'll let Gweldia know if there's anything that you require. May the blessings of St. Griffin guide your steps and protect you. He wanders off, looking at the amulet.
A bit disconcerting to be told to hope that something will protect you in quite such a pointed sense. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but it was a bit disconcerting.
I mean, we do dangerous things all the time.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to Mikhail.
Sure. So
I'd just like to drop the sausages in and at the inn on the
Sure.
way, and request that they are cooked for our supper. You don't want to carry a sausage around all day. That defeats the object of getting fresh sausage.
I thought you just smoked them.
Yes, but you can cook a smoked sausage as well. It's delightful. Just you wait till dinner time.
Are they gonna boil
Say
them?
so.
I mean, Gweldir is certainly fine sausages by Ellery's, by the look of it. Yes, of course.
Yes, fresh.
Oh, splendid. Yes, always the best way.
You see, you could sing a song about that.
Sausages?
Fresh ones.
I think he's already got enough thought about sausages.
Yes.
Gweldia gives the kind of chuckle that only a retired old lady who runs an inn can give.
I bat my eyelashes at her.
I roll my eyes at him.
You notice, while you're rolling your eyes, you notice that Gweldia's husband behind the bar appears to be very aware of the troubadour.
Everyone's very aware of the troubadour. Have you ever seen how he dresses?
That's the point of being a troubadour.
Yeah, I mean, it's if they don't notice you're doing it wrong.
You demonstrated you can be sneaky.
Yes, well, I need to be, but I don't
With
need
those
to be right
tunnels.
now. Yes, but the rest of the time, I want everyone looking at me, so they're not looking at, well, you.
Yes, but we've seen what happens when everybody looks at you. You get eaten.
Hmm.
Really, you
I'm
want
so- I'm
everyone
so-
looking at me, not you.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, so I mean, she takes the sausages from you, and it's like, well, yes, I did certainly. I'll have them ready for the evening. And do you mind if I do something with these excellent-looking loin?
Personally, I'm fine with that, but it's technically not my pork.
She looks towards the polder.
Polder?
Just one sec.
Oh, no problem.
No worries.
I assume the answer will be yes.
Sorry, I had
Yes.
a brief interruption.
That's fine. No, Gweldia's just asking whether you certainly she'll cook the sausage, but do you mind if you do so? She does something with the loin that's also in there. It's good and fresh. We can probably.
Absolutely, that is the joy of fresh produce.
Indeed. Well, I imagine you'll be dining well this evening. It'd be a pleasure.
We'll go talk to the carpenter now.
Yeah, so you turn to step out of the inn. So as you turn and move towards the inn door, you hear a voice call out, "Ah, if it isn't the heroes of Broadhurst! Ah, come and sit. Tell us of your adventures. We might tell you a bit of our deeds." And you turn towards a table, and you can see the sat at the table, the armoured man and the woman who you saw earlier when the blacksmith was asking for help. How do I go about showing this? Pop that in chat, but I'll also pop this in handouts for you, so you can take a look if you so wish. And you see there are sat at a table. The armoured man and the robed woman you saw rejecting Ashley's pleas for help are in the common room of the inn, sat with a comfortably dressed polder, from whom the voice has emerged, a burly shirtless dwarf, and a cloaked woad elf wearing a kind of a leathered armor. You can see them before you, and the polder gesticulates at you.
People keep calling us heroes. We've only been here a few days.
How fared you? Have you had some good adventures since we last saw you?
Well, do take a seat. I am Bodroth.
I apologise. I do not mean this to be rude, but I realise it may come across as such. But again, as I say, I don't wish to be. We were planning to try and get somewhere and get some other business done today, but I'm happy to have this conversation so long as it doesn't take too long. Again, I apologise if this is being too forward or if it's rude. That's not my intent.
Far be it from me to interrupt in the important work of adventurers such as yourselves. We of all people, the gilded hand of all, are most aware of the fact that business can be pressing. I was merely curious as to your escapades. I mean, the tomb is a fascinating place, but no, by all means, if you are too busy for the moment, we are not going anywhere. As I say, I am Bodroth Buckfeather. This is Targan. He gestures to the armoured human. And Mara, I believe you've met, briefly at least. Ilwith, he gestures to the Woad Elf, and the rather surly looking one is Gorak. The dwarf looks at you, and from his ale, grunts a little and drinks. Alright.
Sholto will glance at the other two and sort of try and get a vibe over whether they want to actually talk to these people or if we want to try and get on with business for the meanwhile.
Anurin is the angriest you've ever seen him.
Oh, I realised that would probably be the case. It was why I was trying to get in early with my
and doesn't trust himself to say anything, so would really rather not be here.
Torben?
I apologise. We have matters to attend to, helping the townsfolk. I say somewhat pointedly, and then.
Oh, no.
The woman, the robed woman, the human, offers you a sort of a slightly mocking salute. How very civic of you. Certainly, please.
Indeed.
I, at the very least, would be more than happy to have some sort of conversation with you. Buckfoot, did you say?
Buckfeather, sir. And yes, certainly. You will find us here at least for the next few days. We're not going anywhere for the moment. No work on the table, no coin to be made. So here we sit, awaiting some distraction from the boredom of life.
Well, if you're free, I will try and have a conversation with you, say, this evening at some point.
Well, I shall look forward to it.
As we walk away, I shall say, I'm not sharing my bloody sausage with them.
Bloody?
Waste of... Sholto isn't going to say anything because he knows full well how good the ears on an elf could be. But then once, we're well out of earshot of the inn and we're down by the carpenter, he'll say it would be a waste of good sausages.
I don't trust them for a start, and secondly, they could have been the heroes and they chose not to be, and now they're trying to ride on our coattails. I want nothing to do with them.
That is not unreasonable. I'm not sure whether I trust them yet or not. I would want to try and converse with them more. Maybe some of them aren't quite as bad as the behaviour that we saw prior. But also at the same time, they're outside, besides us, the most heavily armed group in the village. I wouldn't want to cause trouble with them at the very least.
No, my plan is to just avoid them.
As we said, They may be here for something to do with the tomb as well. They may be fishing for information, in which case I intend to be as careful as I can about what information I give them.
As well, there is plenty to be done in this town, and yet there they are sitting in the inn.
They're not being paid for it.
Well, that is my point.
I mean, they could have been paid in fine sausage.
Indeed.
At the end of the day, if that is their profession, That's fair enough. We've made money in other ways. We have chosen not to be mercenaries. I do not know how much of this conversation. Alex does not know how much of this, how well we know each other, and whether we've had conversations like why we're adventurers rather than just mercenaries.
I don't know. I mean, it's a fair question. I
am merely adventuring to generate material for my songs and ballads.
I was going to say, this is the perfect time to introduce one of my favourite questions whenever I'm running a game and the players get to a point like this, which is, why do you think that you as a party not only have come together, but why you choose to do the things that you do? And I shall listen in on your answers whilst I am away from keyboard but still able to hear you for a moment. But it's a good question.
I was worried you were going to ask that question.
Well, Anarian just likes helping people and probably grew up on those stories of the courses, so thinks that's the right thing to do. So that's just what he has been doing for the past, I don't know, about 150 years since he became an adult. And, you know, he gets to wander around the world, meet interesting people, and flirt with them.
Torben has worked for criminal organizations for quite some time, working mainly as he calls it an observer, and he probably has observed more cruelty than he would want to, and so he's kind of he's trying to put that right, but at the same time, you know, this being good is a little bit alien to him. He's trying hard, but this whole doing something for nothing, he knows it's the right thing, and that's why he's struggling against it. And maybe he dislikes them to this degree because actually he recognizes his former self in them. So he's kind of struggling to be heroic. He wants to be, you know, better, but
it's a skill he is learning.
Yes.
I mean, it seems that Sholto has the strongest so far directed moral compass here. I'm curious as to where it comes from.
He's come out that way so far. Like, looking at his background that the character came with of secluded, bureaucratic, and martial, and it says, for example, one of the things with secluded culture is based in one relatively close quarters structure, a building, a cavern, and so forth. So I'm imagining like he may have been raised as like a soldier in like a frontier fort or a castle or something. Why he left? I don't know. I've not thought about that. I don't know if it'll end up being narratively important at any point. But
I mean, who knows?
Precisely. Well, presumably Sholto, but
well, I mean, in fairness, I think this is an excellent time to point out the difference in the way that players go about this, because it strikes me we've got some pretty good examples at this table of the variance of the expected point of view. So, as a director, it will behoove you to recognise the kind of players that you have with regards to their characters. Some, like Neil, generally will come with a pretty strong sense of a character. Even if not necessarily a detailed background. Ed has a tendency to, like myself, like a fairly detailed background, and Alex is the classic player who discovers his character as he's playing it. And what I really want to emphasise is that there's no right or wrong way to go about this. Each of these can be interesting in their own way, and that's, I think, something. Remembering to be a bit chilled as a director, not press for an answer where there isn't one. I was merely curious as to the general view of the party.
So, in the case of Sholto, I don't know. I sort of feel like either it's a sense of like a sort of continuation of a sense of duty, maybe, or possibly a a sort of feeling of wanting to protect people or that sort of thing.
This place also probably reminds Torben of his childhood. So he comes from a communal this sort of village. He that's where he gets his alchemy from. So prior to heading out and doing slightly more nefarious things, this is the kind of village he lived in where you derived value through your goods and what you could bring to the community.
Yeah. I'd say this is very much the case. I will say, just for Alex's consideration for the future, I will say that the High Elves of Orden are very much recovering from the retirement of their creators. So in Orden, for those who don't know, which may or may not include Alex, the High Elves are the children of solar celestials. They were created to attend to the celestials, to the what you would call the true elves, and they historically the elves. The High Elves remember a better age before the coming of humans and warfare and all of the complexity of civilizations. And most High Elf settlements are isolated amidst the ruins of their cities. So High Elves lived in sky cities, literally floating celestial sky cities. There is only one remaining sky city that anyone has even heard of in Orden left, and that is the sky city in which rests Ajax, the invincible overlord, who garnered the sky city as a tithe from the High Elves during his ascent. So, with no kind of creators left, the High Elves are known for collecting and guarding lore, and being quite inward by nature. So it is very likely that Sholto would have grown up in a quite insular way, possibly in like a fallen sky tower or something similar. So just for your curiosity, that might be relevant to your later consideration of the character, but it would certainly fit the way that the character seems to be played, and yet seems to have developed an interest in the outside world and non-elves, which is definitely an interesting tendency.
Part of me was thinking just on the secluded thing of if elves live such a long time, probably you might eventually be like, you know what, I'd like to get out a bit.
I mean, even elves get bored.
But that, like you say, that's possibly rare amongst elves, but just because it's rare amongst elves doesn't necessarily mean that's not how Sholto feels.
No, I mean, it's also, in fairness, it's like your adventurers bent on a heroic path. You're rare by nature. But
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
So as you kind of meander through the town, and we get a sense of the people that you are, you're headed to the woodcutter?
Carpenter's shop.
Yes, Mikhail the carpenter.
From the inn.
Yep. So, you head down towards the carpenter's shop, and you can see the town just going about its day-to-day business, really. People are moving around. Nothing massively noteworthy. And you can, as you kind of close in on the carpenter's house, there's you can hear a cheerful whistling and the rhythmic sound of a saw blade, and you can see a man, kind of leather, slightly darkened skin with a beard. He's smiling and working a blade across a piece of timber balanced between two sawhorses.
I shall pick up his whistling tune and play it on my fiddle.
It takes a moment for him to recognise the sound, and then he stops and looks up and smiles. Well, good afternoon, Master Elf.
Hello. We've been told that you've been having some issues in the woods.
Oh! Yes! Yes, I suppose I have. I was in the forest to collect wood. Normally I get it from Vaughan, but he was too scared to go out there. It's something to do with the bandits north of here, and so I followed the Dun River south. No bandits I've heard of there. Decent distance to find birch mature enough for making decent buildings. He taps on the timber. Took me until nightfall, but plenty of light at the time, and it was a good, well-lit night. Came upon a nice copse outside of a cave by the riverbank. Cutting away, then there was a howling noise, and this massive wolf ran at me. I made it away, but I'll not tell you a lie, sir. I was screaming loudly, running hard. It bit my leg twice.
Oh.
Do you mind showing us the wound so we can assess the size of the beast?
So he let me just.
They're tiny. It's the size of a chihuahua.
So if you check your handouts or indeed have a look in chat, you can see Mikhail. And he kind of looks at you and like, well, that'd be quite difficult. He pulls up his leggings over his left leg. Perfectly clear skin. Funniest thing, that. Woke up the next day. Wound completely healed. Not a thing. Fit as a fiddle. Back to work.
Did you sense anything with your human senses?
I mean,
You like saying that, don't you?
Well, it's how I refer to their sixth sense.
yeah, I mean,
Because only humans have it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, mostly what I sensed was running away from a big wolf. If you don't mind, I wasn't. I don't really remember much beyond the running and the biting.
Understandable.
But,
I look at Torben, because Torben knows about magical things.
How much do I know about... I suppose so. I think out of character, and this is me, because I'm trying to work out what Torben might know in terms of.
well, I mean, I suppose the question is
how
what
much does he know about lycanthropy?
I don't know. What relevant skills do you have?
This is it. I don't think he. I mean, he's got magic. I don't know how rare lycanthropy is. He was brought up in the wilds or in a farming community, but he may or may not have ever come across it. And that's
if the wound is just healed, I was going to say, could me and Torben have a conversation about that? Torben assists.
I'm an alchemist as well, so
you assist
I know
with your magic skill, because I've got reason +2 and I've got law monsters, which might also be applicable.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%. So let's have if you've got the monsters, if we've got the monsters skill, let's absolutely head in that direction. Sorry, go ahead, Neil.
Whilst you guys are having a chat about this thing, I shall distract Mikhail by just basically discussing his what he's done, and if it was the same area where we've heard that.
Yeah, he'll happily spend time.
Yes, I don't want to be presumptuous. Would it be okay to get an assist roll of some kind from Torben?
I mean, if Torben is a relevant skill, which he does, I'd happily give you. I'd give you an edge on it. Yeah. Cool. Assuming that Torben is happy to help, unless Torben has.
No, I think I would help, and I think I'm using magic stroke my alchemy knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, both are definitely relevant. So yeah, I've sent you a request for the roll.
Yep, I've whacked an edge on it.
Well, that's a result.
Hooray!
So, yeah, I mean, this is classic lycanthropy. You've read and heard enough. This is a werewolf, a human cursed to turn into a wolf under the full moon. You also if his wounds healed that quickly, that bite means he wasn't. So there are those who are possessed of a strong sense of self. Generally speaking, represented mechanically, you would be aware that you as a player mechanically would be aware that it's related to presence score, but that's those with a stronger sense of self are more likely to be able to resist infection. But in this case, if the wounds healed that quickly, the signs are that Mikhail's been bitten by a werewolf and is going to become one.
Is the werewolf the classic only an issue on a full moon, or is it an issue at other times of day or year as well?
Lycanthropes, once they are aware of themselves, can control their transformation. However, a being afflicted with lycanthropy will transform upon the next full moon.
When is that?
The next full moon is in... what are we on?
So does that mean that if
the next full moon's in roughly... I mean, none of you are astronomical experts, but the next full moon is in the next sort of 9 or 10 days.
So when you say lycanthrope can control it, but this guy's going to transform, does that mean that he will then become a lycanthrope, or does that mean he instead becomes some sort of monster?
I mean, if legends are to be believed, the first time someone undergoes a transformation into lycanthropy, they have virtually no control of themselves beyond fury, rage, and the moon-induced lunacy for which lycanthropes are famed.
But specifically the first time?
Yes.
Does this place have a jail that we know of?
I mean, they have a reeve, so presumably, yes, they would have a holding cell.
I'm going to suggest to him that I think the reeve needs to hear this story. I think there's...
the reeve? Well, Rosamond? It's all right, sir. I told her that the day it happened.
I'm all for dealing with this now, if we feel the need, but if... I'm more concerned about the thing which is currently running around. Should we go deal with that maybe, and then...
I'm wondering if we can deal with this on the way.
Sorry, sorry, deal with...
Let's... Do you have somewhere private we could have a quick chat?
I suppose. Come in the workshop, I guess.
Let's go inside there. Would you like us...
He looks at you.
Do you tell Anirin about the... Whilst Sholto's taking
Anirin, would you be able to stay outside and make sure that this conversation stays private?
Sure thing.
Thank you. Torben, would you like to join me, or should I...
Yes, no,
Why is he going to rough him up now?
He just...
Because I know nothing.
Yeah, he's just... He walks past, he looks a little nervous, but he's like...
Understandably, frankly.
I mean, petrified is a word that would be applicable.
I mind the shop.
But yeah, we'll take him into the private room and be like, well, I'm very sorry to tell you this, and this is very difficult to say, but I imagine it will be even more difficult to hear. We think what may have attacked you, from what you've said, and from what you've shown us of your wound, shows at least the classical signs of being a werewolf.
What? Like...
Yeah.
Big angry
Sholto
me?
will have a very have a very sympathetic face, but be nodding.
But I'm fine. Fit as a fiddle, sir.
Currently.
What do you mean currently?
Well, if it is, look, it's very straightforward. If we're right, then you'll be fine up until the next full moon.
That's like next week!
Precisely.
So, just to be sure, before the full moon, I would like you to hand yourself in to the Reeve, just for safekeeping on the night of the full moon. And as I'm saying that, my hands are on my daggers.
I'm not. For the record, I'm trying to be as friendly as possible. I'm not putting hands anywhere near weapons.
I mean,
I do not wish you any harm, but I cannot.
Certainly, sir, I'll do what you say, sir. Anything you say, sir. But please tell me you can cure me. I don't want to be I don't want to turn into a wolf and eat
as an
people.
alchemist, do I know if lycanthropy is curable?
Yeah. You are trained in alchemy, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes.
It is. Yes. Let me grab the relevant information. Yeah, lycanthropy is indeed curable. There is it is perfectly possible with a bit of time and effort to distill a cure for lycanthropy. I will in fact grab you the information while we're chatting. There is one teeny tiny problem.
Does it involve a werewolf bit?
You need the remains of a werewolf.
Well, how convenient.
I think that is our next stop.
It's a respite activity finding a cure, isn't it?
It is.
Assuming Sholto shares this information.
I mean, you're Sholto.
Sorry, not Sholto. Torben. I don't have any alchemical skill.
I will say to him, we can.
Good. Yes. Good. No, wait. What do you mean? Hopefully.
We need to hunt down the werewolf. We need to know exactly where and when, as close to the night as possible, you saw the beast. Unfortunately, it is likely to appear on the full moon, which means that you will still need to surrender to the Reeve, because I don't think we can prevent you from having at least one turning.
You say that. How long ago were you attacked?
A week and a half. I mean, like I say, it's
on the last full moon, perhaps.
It's a little after, I suspect. Yes.
At least from the information I recall, a lycanthrope should be able to control their powers. And again, assuming the information the GM gave me is accurate, and correct me if I'm wrong.
When I say control their powers, like lycanthropes are reputed to be, generally speaking, people-eating monsters. It's just that they can. When I say control their powers, a lycanthrope can control when they change shape, but this is not as in live in average society, wander about, have a normal life.
No, what I mean by that is the thing that we'll be hunting possibly would be
outside of the full moon.
Purely on the full moon, no.
Okay, no, that's right. So, yes, we need to kill the beast. If I were to prepare a cure, I will need the remains of a werewolf.
Well, I mean, I can show you what. I can tell you where the cave is, out by the river. You just need to follow it down. But
either we get there and there is a werewolf, in which case we will deal with the werewolf and we'll be able to cure you, or it isn't a werewolf and we're wrong. So either way, you're in luck.
Right.
I realize that.
Are you sure you can cure me? Right. If it is it's a... Oh, I think I need a drink.
I have full faith in my companion.
Just for sake of completeness, if you wouldn't mind just coming with us to the Reeve, we will report the situation to her, so she is appraised of the fact that you will arrive.
If you wouldn't mind taking your hands off those things, sir, yes, certainly. I'll do whatever.
I will remove my hands from my daggers.
One moment, just sort of move to one side with Torben and just like quietly like, should we not like? We don't know how she might react to this, and we've not met her yet. Should we possibly go and meet her and try and judge her before we say, oh yes, by the way, one of the local peasants is a lycanthrope, or contracted lycanthropy?
She is our best hope of containing. And Reeves, usually, they're, in my experience, they want to do the right thing.
My concern there is the use of the word usually.
What if he runs off?
Then he can't get cured.
And then he can eat people. I'm not taking that chance. He comes with us.
Can we at least try and judge what her...
You can see Torben's quite adamant about this.
We could leave Anya in here with him. Or indeed, you could stay here with him and I could go report. There are multiple of us. My concern is purely like if she is, like you say, usually I agree with you. You would hope that they would have the best, but also the most straightforward solution is to, as you say, a very dangerous monster would be to, wouldn't be to go about the long process of curing him.
So I think the Reeve is on the way to the river. If I have.
Yes, you would.
It's certainly not a major detour. Like, I'm all for going and talking to the Reeve. My concern is just going to the Reeve and saying,
it's just
by the way,
we would
here's a
then
werewolf.
need to come back.
My concern is what might happen if the Reeve decides to take matters into her own hands while we're not here.
Well,
a number of people who thought we wouldn't survive against the Oryx.
Yeah, I think we need to just. So, Torben is here to defend. This is basically, he sees it as being like his community. So he doesn't really care as long as the community is protected.
I agree with that mindset. Just, I would, if we think we've got a reasonable chance to actually be able to cure this fellow, I would like to maximize the odds that we get that chance is my main. If we can't cure him, I fully agree with you. And frankly, as unpleasant as it would be, Sholto would volunteer to be the person to solve that problem that way. Just if we can solve it the other way, that would be his preference.
It's just all I'm suggesting is he reports to the Reeve. He says, I am going to turn up before the full moon to go into the jail overnight.
Yes. I just if that's what we want to do, that's fine. Just I was purely concerned that we don't have a measure of this person yet, and I would want to just that we know we're not just gonna wander off to kill a werewolf, come back and he's dead.
The Courser said that she didn't have the time, or the money to do things, but he did seem to hold her in reasonable esteem.
You make a very good point there. I'll agree with you on that regard. He did seem to speak well of her. I'll agree with you there.
Shall we?
I'm persuaded enough.
Mikael, my hands are away from my daggers.
Yes.
You will come to no harm. But if you would escort us, and for your benefit, let's do it as friends. We don't want to worry anyone or raise any suspicions.
It's certainly. Shall we? Just let me. He starts gathering his tools and putting them in, and walks past Anurin and starts picking up the saws and the wood and the horse. Puts it in, and he appears to be closing up the shop.
Sholto will offer to help and will offer to carry his box of tools with as well while we.
And Anurin looks at Torben and goes, "What the hell is going on?"
Torben,
I was wondering when that was going to happen. As Anurin's wait, what?
as those two are, so I'll let them go ahead because I think I've scared him enough. And as we walk, I will explain to Nurin what has just happened.
So we're gonna go kill a werewolf.
Yes, we're going to drop this guy off at the. Well, we're going to drop him off, introduce him to the Reeve, to say that he's going to surrender himself before the full moon, and then we're going to kill a werewolf.
So
think of the songs.
Well, yes, and in the songs that I've heard about werewolves, don't we need silver?
Is this the truth?
I mean, you're not familiar. I mean, there are myths about werewolves and silver, but
would I need to make another roll, or off the back of the previous roll? Can I?
No, off the back of your your previous roll is more than enough to be kind of aware of werewolves, at least as much as you would know about.
At least the generalities.
Yeah. And legitimately, I'm checking, because I'm not 100% sure what the SP is with werewolves in Orden. Never dealt with one before. Quite interesting, actually. Oh, hello. Right. I mean, you've heard legends of silver, but then you've never, like, you rolled really well. You've never come across any convincing evidence that silver makes any great difference.
All right.
Okay. Those songs are wrong then.
Is there anything that I'm aware that, at least as far as I'm aware, might be necessary? I realise that might not necessarily be the same as it is. There is an issue. There is a trick to it.
So this is an excellent time to talk about the art of GMing and sorry, I should say directoring in this game, and how you want to look at this. I mean, we have a player who's got like a tier 3 result, so I would consider it reasonable to let the player know loosely a bit about werewolves.
Yes. I'm not an expert, obviously. I've just know. I mean,
werewolves are not known. At least you've not heard of any evidence of any specific weakness or immunity that werewolves possess. The main thing that you're aware of is that a werewolf's wounds caused by a werewolf can affect someone's behaviour. Like, if you're repeatedly wounded by a werewolf, it can drive you mad without necessarily afflicting you with lycanthropy. Like, you've heard tales of people fighting werewolves who, in a fit of rage, kill their own companions. Otherwise, werewolves are pretty much what you'd expect them to be. They can be human-shaped, they can be a big wolf, like a really big wolf. Or they can just be their more kind of natural form, I guess, is a hybrid between the two. They are ferocious and dangerous combatants. What else would you necessarily know? They're agile, rapid in movement should they wish to be, and if they do don wolf form, they are in fact enormous. Like a werewolf in wolf form is size 3.
Chuffing out.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's chunky.
Okay, well.
But yeah, I mean, meanwhile, the rest of the party of, like, you are meandering your way towards the Reeves' house.
I will try and comfort Mikhail and
Yes, I was going to say.
How competent we are, how he just took. I'll tell him this tale of how he took down the Arix.
I was going to say I will simply talk to him in a way that might try and get him to think about other things, like ask how his business is.
Once you're kind of moving and doing something, he seems to settle more. He's
understandable.
He's struggling quite visibly, but I mean, you approach this the Reeves house, and you kind of knock on the door, and a woman opens the door. She's in probably her late 50s. She's most notable for the fact that she has, I should pop her in chat for you and in your handouts, she's missing her right eye, and is wearing kind of cured leather over the top of padded armor, and she has a big, as she answers the door, you can see she's just finished strapping a big two-handed sword on her back. And she looks up.
Strapping it on, you say?
Hello.
Have we interrupted you?
Oh, she gestures at the sword. No, not particularly, but I'm not in the habit of opening a door in the middle of the day unexpectedly without a weapon.
Really? Is the town have that much trouble?
Not really, but then I'm not stupid. Rosamund looks over. She looks over. Mikhail? I good work, and thank you. Rescue of Violet was appreciated.
Oh, would you like to hear the tale?
I'm assuming there's a more pressing reason, given that unless there's a reason that you're bringing me a carpenter.
Could we come inside?
Oh, yes, please.
It's a somewhat more sensitive issue than, frankly, we would have liked to. Also, I feel it's appropriate that we should introduce ourselves as well, given that we spent some time in the town now and seem to be planning to spend more time here.
Well, I am Rosamund. I was born and raised in Broadhurst. After I gathered this, she gestures at her arm, I spent some time as part of the local militia. And then the town elected me Reeve. I enforced the laws of Dalrath and the will of Lord Kenway. And you are well known to me by now. In fact, it's hard to meet anyone who isn't speaking of you one way or the other recently. All in the positive, I might add.
I'm glad to hear that much, at least. Yes. Well, and Sholto will go on to sort of explain the story. It'll be a little bit more wandery than need be. He'll probably mention how we finished dealing with the
Rosamund is very, very brusque, and very quickly you get the impression that she's interested in details, information. She has a lot to do. She has no interest in fluff or things to it. She's very much on...
fair enough, then.
If we could simply cut to the point and explain to me why it is that you've brought me a carpenter and asked for his privacy so that I can figure out whether this is something that is going to interrupt the rest of my day, I'd be most grateful.
We believe the carpenter may also be a werewolf.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's why we were trying to go round it slightly.
So, next full moon, you need to lock him up.
Anyway,
that's about it, really.
As opposed to simply... Yeah, so, I mean, why would we...
Sholto will direct the carpenter to sort of explain his story with the monster again to the Reeve.
Yes, I'm very familiar with the report. But
our friend, I point at Torvin, is an alchemist and can craft a cure if we go out and kill the werewolf. But that will obviously take some time, so if you could lock Mikhail up for his own and everyone else's safety, then we could cure him.
Yep, that's
Rosamund
that's the short version.
Rosamund seems surprisingly unflustered by this, and she's like, seems reasonable enough.
Like, just say he comes
I'm
in
glad you
late
think so.
afternoon, about 3 or 4 o'clock. I presume it's summertime.
I mean, we've got like a week until anything is expected to happen.
Well, expected and certain are two very different things. But
certain.
I'm more than happy to make Mikhail comfortable overnight in a cell until such time as you tell me otherwise. And if Mikhail is willing, and he's like, yes. I mean, they tell me that the good polder can cure me, and if I can, I don't want to harm anyone.
If I'm a bad polder, it's not going to go well.
In order to cure him, we need parts of a werewolf. So that is a convenient
Plus,
convergence of what we're intending to do. Either we'll find the monster that attacked him, it's not a werewolf, and therefore he's fine, or it is a werewolf, and then we'll have the parts needed for a cure.
Or you'll find it's a werewolf, it will kill you, and I will end up having to execute my own carpenter.
Well, we're hoping that's not going to be the case.
So am I, but I'm in the business of dealing with facts, not hope.
I mean,
also,
I would agree with you as well.
We did just take down a giant bug, so we are competent people.
Yes, you'll forgive me, but an Arex is a dangerous creature, to be sure, but is a predatory insect, and a werewolf is a creature of legend, myth, and an engine of destruction. If
you
anything,
are right. Our deaths are certainly one of the potential outcomes that could, outcome.
And it's your intention to do this out of the goodness of your hearts.
Yeah, well, he's going to do it for a good song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a bad song.
He just likes doing good things.
We're here to help. We're here to help people rather than here to make money. Like, we're being provided room and board by the innkeeper. As far as I'm concerned, that is a good enough reason for us to stay around here and try and help solve any problems that need to be solved.
Let me ask you, why are you Reeve? You don't get very much for it.
I mean, you get this lovely house and a bunch of responsibility, it looks like.
She nods.
It feels like we're in a very similar boat.
Yes, and yet, rarely have I met anyone who considers duty to be important.
We've been told.
Don't get me wrong. I've no argument with your help. I will accept it gladly. I am merely surprised.
Duty is definitely Sholto's bag. I just like helping people.
Frankly, it's disappointing how much we've already been told that our behaviour is apparently surprising.
I mean, you certainly... in the case of Sholto, that's actually surprisingly an in-character remark. Torbin, on the other hand, and Anurin are probably by now both well-travelled enough to be... like, the catch-all term for adventurers and swords for hire
isn't it?
in the Land of Orden is indeed Ratcatcher.
Yes.
Generally speaking, adventurers and mercenaries are seen mostly to be more trouble than they're worth, and an expensive way of solving a problem best avoided. You are... The mercenaries that you met, this Gilded Hand, are far from an unusual occurrence in Anurin and Torbin's travels. That's pretty much how most mercenary companies behave.
Yes, but we're not mercenaries.
We're heroes.
Yeah, there's really not many of those around either. Not for a good few hundred years. But she nods. Well, if my father taught me one thing, it wasn't to argue with a gift from the gods. Or I should say the saints. Either way, I am happy.
Description.
I'm happy to acknowledge your point. If Mikhail is willing to concede, as he seems to be, to your methodology, then certainly I'll make sure that one of the holding cells here is made considerably more comfortable than normal. I'm sure we can exchange some drinks, some food, and some conversation of an evening, Mikhail. If there's anything you need, I'm happy to bring it. And as for you, I hope to see you alive.
The feeling is mutual.
So, shall we go fight a werewolf?
Mikhail raises a hand and sort of looks towards Torbin. Is it all right, sir, if I were to return? There's timbers to cut and a few houses that are in need of repair.
I have your word.
Yes, as the Reeve decrees, I'll obey the law, and if you're willing to help me, then I'd be most grateful. Yes, sir.
Yes. Then we have a deal.
Very well, sir. St. Griffin bless you, sir. And he heads off, and Rosamund kind of gives him a pat on the shoulder. She's like, it's all right, Mikhail. They seem...
Well-meaning.
Well-meaning, yeah.
I apologise. I was slightly persuasive in him coming here.
This is why you should let me do the persuasing.
Rosamund shrugs. In my experience, your Polder friend's method tends to be far quicker and more efficient.
And also, I was more concerned that, we still don't know exactly what's going to happen precisely, or how he was going to react. I felt he deserved his privacy before becoming immortalized in another one of your songs.
There is that.
I changed the names.
Even then.
The names have been protected, changed to protect the innocent.
You hear this sort of... if you wouldn't mind the continuation of your, I'm sure, tremendously important debate on the virtues of songs and anonymity, if it could perhaps take place where I'm not working?
Yes.
Thank
you very much.
I like her. She's great.
One last point. I hate to tell you, he'll probably write a song about you.
She says something rather unexpected, and she shrugs, and she's like, it wouldn't be the first time.
Ooh, now I have to find out which songs are about her.
And it's as she does that, she closes the door, and she closes it in such a way that she can catch Torbin's eye while Anurin can't look, and she tosses you a smile and a wink, Torbin, as she closes the door at the end of that sentence, and then goes back to work.
I don't know whether this will be of any use, but given how dangerous a werewolf could be, might it be at all worthwhile us stopping in at the Abbot's library and see if he maybe has any additional books to, source our information, just in case there's anything else
a short visit would not go amiss.
Yes, just to see if he's got any additional information that may make our jobs a bit easier.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough. I mean, the village isn't that big. You swing back.
The worst thing that happens is he says no.
I mean, the abbot opens the door and is like, yes, you're back again, I see. As ever,
we need some information.
Certainly. What can I help you with? But perhaps the feast days, or are you looking to observe the
inside, please?
As ever, your weaponry, please, sir. And yes.
Whilst they're inside, I'm going to stand on the opposite side of the town square from the Church of St. Griffin and perform so that no one actually goes near the church.
Fair enough.
Oh, no.
Because books, not my thing.
So I will briefly recount the situation and say we urgently and quickly need as much information as you have on lycanthropy and specifically werewolves.
Oh, right. Well, certainly, I'm in the best of possible situations to be able to give you everything that you need, which, largely speaking, is nothing. I mean, I'm aware of their existence, but my books are on history and religion.
That's no problem. We wanted to check on the off chance that you did have any.
I mean, I am terribly sorry, but it's not really something that I carry much on the
That's understandable.
Perhaps the Reeve might have something in the
We
old
have
library?
visited the Reeve.
We've just come from the Reeve.
Yes, well, right. Any particular
thank
reason
you.
that you would be needing information on lycanthropy?
Yes, we'll tell you later.
We'll let the bard sing it to you, along with the story of the Arex.
Surely we can be more
No,
merciful than that.
Well, may the light of St. Griffin guide your way, and the stoutness of a dwarven saint watch your steps.
Thank you.
And if you're lucky, he'll lose his voice.
Best of luck with the research.
Yes, thank you. It's a good day again.
Also, just on the off chance, if anybody comes asking, don't tell them what we asked about.
Right. Yes.
Just in case.
I suppose. Yes, certainly.
Especially other adventurers.
Oh, the gilded. They don't frequent the church, I'm afraid. They don't seem particularly inclined to involve themselves in day-to-day life.
Regardless of on how likely anything will be, just don't mention it to anybody, please. At least until we're back.
Certainly, yes, quite. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And like I say, best of luck.
Good evening. Afternoon.
Hey, it's getting closer to evening by this point, yeah. Yeah, so he closes the door behind you, wanders off. Wait, the rest of, you guys see the door close behind you. The audience get to see the abbot close the door, and he walks into the chapel, through the main entry into the main church, and then he starts turning towards the stairs, and then he stops for a moment, tilts his head a little, turns back and moves over to the altar, and you see him take a knee in front of the carved statue of St. Griffin the Stout, who is a dwarven saint, and he begins to utter a few heartfelt prayers. Anyway, carry on.
We will go and find the troubadour.
Right. Well, it's not difficult, rather, to find the troubadour. You follow the sound of music and many children laughing, playing, and enjoying themselves as the troubadour creates theatre in the middle of the town.
Mm-hmm. I am singing the song of our defeat of the Arex.
Nice.
I'm just waiting for the bit where the troubadour is in the jaws of the Arex and how he explains this one.
Oh no, it's like fully truthful about how I was almost dead, but my wonderful, brave Polder friend slew the creature whilst dramatically falling down a hole. You know, like some sort of.
Always a bridesmaid, never the hero.
I
Right,
mean,
come on.
As the performance ends, there's much applause and noise, and as you start to walk away, there's the sound of children being like, "Oh, but no."
Good night, children.
They sort of wave at you. Yeah.
See, they liked it. Human children. They're the best audience, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, a number of them are now running their way through the village, loudly singing songs about the slaying of giant insects.
Cool. You appear to have found your level of audience.
I mean, more specifically, I think what he's done is found the village equivalent of Baby Shark.
Ha! Oh no.
Oh, we're gonna get back having slain a werewolf, and they're just going to incarcerate us immediately.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, that is as the party stride towards the darkening or at least dimming light of eventide. It's as good a time as any for us to bring our session to an end. As ever, it's been a pleasure. It's been a joy to be able to hang around and experience a little bit of different points of view. If you've enjoyed it, you know the deal. It's all down below. Like, subscribe, something, algorithm feeding. I don't know. Do all the things. But only if you want to. There's links down there to support the content financially if you really want to. Again, if you can afford to. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to keep doing this as long as my friends continue to allow me to broadcast their role-playing goodness. Already got a few ideas about where we might go after this, and I'm certainly having fun exploring the Codex. As always, many thanks to everyone involved in the creation of this incredible tool. Massive thanks to Nerdius Maximus Studios, who I need to shout out more often, who have provided all of the music, or at least the majority of it that you will hear. You can check them out on Patreon, link down below. Definitely do so. Great guy, excellent composer, all done by hand. Thanks to MCDM for a cracking RPG. Thanks to my players for being good humans. And for now, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from that lot.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.